The second match of the biggest series of the season for first-year head coach Alex Del Piombo and Bowling Green Volleyball. They looked to a 5-set match yesterday, and their second loss in Mid-American Conference play, lost to 8-0 Ball State in their 8th MAC match of the 2025 season. And they battle the Cardinals again today in hopes of adding the first loss to the Cardinals' unblemished conference record. Hello, Falcon fans. Ben Korak here with Andrew Smith from the Falcon Media Sports Network in the Stroh Center for the second time this week for the second match between Bowling Green and Ball State. Andrew, how are you feeling today?
Feeling good. It's another round of this amazing matchup, this storied matchup between these two teams, two best teams in the MAC, dueling it out yet again. This feels like they go to 5 sets every time. It feels like this matchup is always so entertaining to watch. So I'm very excited to see how it plays out in round 2 here.
If you want to read about the match yesterday, 5-set loss for Bowling Green Volleyball, make sure to go to bgfalconmedia.com or bg_FMSN on Twitter X. We post all of our BGSU sports news and updates, as well as the recap of yesterday's match and a short sidebar about Lauren Hovey, who made her debut in MAC play yesterday in her first game back after 8 in a row missed for the senior All-American for the Falcons. But for everything else, Bowling Green Athletics, go to bgfalconmedia.com and bg_FMSN on Twitter. And make sure also to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. A panel of Falcon Media Sports Network experts will talk about everything going on in Bowling Green athletics, including volleyball, football, both men's and women's soccers, and now hockey, as hockey plays their exhibition game against Windsor today and starts conference play next week. Bowling Green and Ball State yesterday, a very tight match, Andrew, all the way through. Ball State won in 5 sets. The 5th set they won by 3, but it was really back and forth. They won the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th, and the Falcons had a lot of opportunities in there to be able to come away with set victories.
Yeah, the Falcons had their opportunities. The 3rd and the 4th set both went into extra points, and the Falcons, they didn't have a lot of errors yesterday, but they had their errors at the wrong time. Just hurt themselves a little bit and could not come away with, especially in that 3rd set, had a few service errors that really hurt them when they got into extras. And so they had their opportunities, and Ball State took advantage of theirs just a little bit more, and that's why they came out with that win. The Cardinals were down 11-9 in that 5th and final set. Falcons looked like they were going to pull away with it, but the Cardinals managed to get a few key points in there, turn things around, and just came away with a very important victory on the road in the Stroh here.
A 7-2 run for Ball State to end the match and win the 5th set as well. 2 things that we saw yesterday that were kind of uncharacteristic for Ball State. Actually 3. The 2 first ones are Ball State blocked very well and they served very well. And that's 2 things this season that they have not done very well at all. And that 3rd thing that I mentioned, their offense was not as high functioning as the Falcons was, and that's a feat as well for Bowling Green, but also a detriment to Ball State considering they are the #1 offense in the Mid-American Conference and were outswung by Bowling Green yesterday.
Yeah, and that's what the Falcons need to do again today. They need to outswing them. They need to take advantage when they can on offense, but the blocking needs to step up for the Falcons. That's your main, not your main strength, but something that you're supposed to be the best in the conference at, and Ball State beat you at your own game, and that's a major reason why the Cardinals were able to come away with the 1st set victory and then able to close out the match in the 5th set.
Bowling Green maintains their spot as the #1 blocking team in the Mid-American Conference, but yesterday Ball State came into the match the 2nd worst blocking team in the MAC and came away the 8th worst blocking team in the MAC, so still down there, but their 11 total blocks led Bowling Green yesterday. They did serve better as well. They had 3 more aces and the same amount of errors as the Falcons, and errors is a big key for Bowling Green. Ball State just consistently committed less errors throughout the entire match. 4 less in attacking, 2 less in setting, 3 less in total receptions, and 8 total less errors. Andrew, I did a little bit of math, and Bowling Green lost their 3 sets by a total of 8 points. So if you committed the same amount of errors as Ball State, the Falcons come away with a win in 3 sets, and I think that's going to be a big focal point for this Falcon team today, is trying to hold on to the ball as much as they possibly can.
I absolutely agree about it, and that's great math by you there. I mean, it really does come down to what mistakes you make and what mistakes you force your opponent to make. And the Falcons just had attacking errors, serving errors, receive errors just at the worst possible times and it really affected the overall outcome of the game. It felt like it killed their momentum, especially in that third set when they got into extras, and then again in that fifth set when they were trying to seal the deal.
3 defensive specialists and Anastasia Bozic yesterday for Bowling Green combined for 6 of the 12 total errors and did not record an ace as well. So 0 for 6 from those players, looking for them to do better today. Normally those are pretty solid serving players as well. Bowling Green's offense really stood out yesterday. They out-attacked Ball State, who was the #1 offense in the Mid-American Conference, still are after yesterday's match as they were stunted by Bowling Green. But the Falcons out-attacked them overall and led on the back of Edita Vaswalczyk. Her 20-kill match is the career high for her, her first time reaching 20 in her career with Bowling Green, and she pretty much led the Falcons offensively in a very strong attack.
Vaswalczyk she got a lot of high sets, which she really loves to hit, gets a full swing on those, and she was just finding her mark basically every single time she got an opportunity. Went line a couple times, went on a cut shot a few times, but really what she thrived at was finding the corner opposite side of the court from her. And in addition, the Falcons just overall as a unit, out swinging and out killing this Ball State team is really impressive. And without their main setter in Amanda Otten, who is still out with injury tonight, that's an incredibly impressive feat, and it makes you wonder what the outcome of that match would be last night had they had Amanda Otten.
Setting an interesting aspect yesterday as well. We saw essentially 3 setters. Anna Sheetek played the majority of the match. She approached her career high, didn't get it though. She had 32 total assists. Belle Lauby started as the second setter early on with Anna Sheetek and then kind of stepped out for Lauren Hovey to take that spot. Hovey is pretty much only taking setting reps as of right now, and she was the main second setter for Bowling Green yesterday. She had 17 assists, paired that with 12 kills in her return to Bowling Green after missing 8 in a row and 9 out of Bowling Green's last 10 matches. And she also had 9 digs. She was 1 away from having a triple-double yesterday against Ball State, and Lauren Hovey definitely made her presence known in her first game back.
She did. She came in to set, and let's not forget she could swing too. I mean, she didn't look completely herself. I mean, there was probably a little bit of rust to shake off there, but once she did that in the first couple sets, she looked more herself. Her setting looked pretty spot on. She's the one that fed Eddie most of the time when she was getting her kills, so I expect her to only get better with this match because I think that rust is gone.
A lot of positives for Bowling Green yesterday as well, actually. It's pretty much most of what we're talking about, besides talking about the errors a little bit earlier. The defense was very strong, Andrew. Sydney Hernandez, especially Carson Tyler, the #1 hitter for Ball State, had 24 kills, but Sydney Hernandez was well-placed a lot of the time, and she did very well defensively against the #1 point scorer in the Mid-American Conference, and looking for that defense of Bowling Green to be nice again today.
Sydney has all-out hustle all of the time. She had some great diving plays, some one-handed digs, and you mentioned it, her positioning in that last game was phenomenal. Make volleyball easier. That's something she mentioned in her interview with me, that Coach Carter has been trying to get through to her, and I think she did that yesterday. Dug up a lot of balls by not even needing to move because she was just in the right place.
And her match starting in a few moments. Starting lineups are in, so after our break we'll read those out, but any keys to Bowling Green's ability to come out with a victory today against Ball State?
They need to tie the Cardinals in blocking or outblock them, and they need to commit less attacking errors. The serving errors, I can live with. The timing of them was bad, but the attacking errors need to go away for BG.
Certainly limiting errors, continuing the offense that they brought from yesterday. If it wasn't yesterday, then it's a must-win match today for Bowling Green. 6-2 Bowling Green, 8-0 Ball State coming up on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
I need some extra money. Do I qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit?
Use the EITC Assistant tool. With just a little information, this tool helps you calculate eligibility with ease and accuracy. Get an estimate of how much credit you qualify for, and get a printout of your results before you prepare your return or visit your tax preparer. To use the EITC Assistant tool and see if you're eligible to claim a credit, visit irs.gov/EITC.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
This hour of programming on WBGU is brought to you by the BG Falcon Media, a group of student media organizations located at Bowling Green State University and available online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
Unlike other local sources, Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media will never charge a paywall to view our content. However, if you are looking to support student media, you can donate at the bottom of our stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Now back to more Falcon volleyball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM. You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Welcome back into the Stroh Center. Bowling Green and Ball State set to face off for the second time this week. The second time overall as well. Ball State at 8-0, undefeated after their win over Bowling Green yesterday, and the Falcons down to 6-2 in their Mid-American Conference record. Ben Korak here with Andrew Smith from the Falcon Media Sports Network, and for the second day in a row, we have starting lineups in. Andrew, why don't you walk us through Ball State?
Yeah, starting for Ball State did not change from yesterday. Still setting for them is Lindsey Green, the senior. Next up is on the outside, Noel Van Ort and Carson Tyler. In addition, in the middle blocker, there's three of them starting: Cameron Wise, Gwen Kroll, and Tiffany Schnook. And then at the libero position is Sophie Ledbetter. And rounding out the lineup at the opposite hitting position is Christian Ashby.
On the side of Bowling Green and your Falcons, Anna Sheetek, the setter for Bowling Green today. Probably joining her at some point is Lauren Hovey, playing on the right side in the starting lineup, as Jessica Andrews is not starting for the Falcons today. Avery Hobson and Edita Vaswapchik will man the left side. Kendall Williams and Helen Wilford will man the middle. And again, Sydney Hernandez, the libero, wearing white today amongst the Falcons, who wear orange for Falcon Friday. Not the most pleasing jersey combination today, Andrew, between Bowling Green's orange and Ball State's red. But it's what we're going to have to live with. Yesterday's Ball State all-black uniforms are very cool.
They were very nice.
Very good uniforms.
I feel like it would have been better for them to wear the red yesterday and then the black today. But here we are. And we're about to get started here in a minute. I mean, this is going to be a big matchup here for the Falcons, an attempt to bounce back from yesterday. Game that Falcons probably feel like they should have won, despite no Amanda Otten. But now a chance to reprove themselves here in the Stroh Center.
Phrase Del Piombo is used quite a bit this season, as you win or you learn. They didn't win yesterday, so they certainly had things to learn from. Although, as we mentioned a couple of times, Andrew, it was a very strong match played for Bowling Green, and one that it felt like they controlled through the majority of it. And I think from the way the match felt, it was Bowling Green's to lose, and Ball State just got hot at the right time in that fifth set.
I mean, that's kind of the identity of this Cardinal team, though. They get hot, and they get hot in a hurry, especially with an outside hitter like Carson Tyler, who can serve with that top spin and come into the back row as well. It's a team that can quickly turn the script, and that's what they did. And I think both those third and fifth sets turned things around very quickly and came out with the win because of it. That first set, I feel like the Falcons tend to drop that first set quite often and just kind of bounce back from there and win the match after that. But so it was really on Ball State to win in the third set, which they did, and then take it home in the fifth, which they did. And the Falcons left that door open for them, as we mentioned a couple times, with a few attack errors and a couple of service errors.
Assuming it's going to be as tight today as it was yesterday, back and forth almost the entire match. Lindsey Green serves for Ball State, the setter in her second season with the Cardinals. Bowling Green pokes it over. It's back to the Cardinals. First swing for Carson Tyler. Diving play by Hernandez, but it rolls in from Carson Tyler. She gets her first of the match on her first swing.
Carson Tyler, just a sophomore, but plays like a vet. A good job rolling that ball over the hands into the campfire instead of swinging through.
Anna Sheetek steps back to Hovey. Hovey goes high off the block. It knuckles down into Van Ort, who pulls it up. Carson Tyler goes off of the Falcon block. That was Hovey and Wilford on the right side, and it spins long and deep out of the range of the Falcons.
Falcons trying to get back comfortable into the pace of this Ball State offense.
Sheetek sets up Hovey on the right side, and Hovey gets her first on her second swing. And that's struggled a little bit early yesterday, especially offensively. She had, I think, 3 errors before her first kill.
Yeah, and that's the Lauren Hovey we're used to seeing. She needs to get fed a lot, and she needs to get fed early in order to get herself right.
Nice serve by Hernandez. Puts Ball State out of system, and they have to dump over to the Falcons. Sheetek to Kendall Williams. Williams goes off the block. Now Cameron Wise, her own, dug out by Hernandez. Williams for the second time. Misses the hands and out of play.
It's good to see the middles of Bowling Green get a little bit more involved right away. Kendall Williams, 2 opportunities there. Missed the sideline there, but Ball State utilized the middles on offense a lot last match, so it's good to see the Falcons coming back with that tonight.
Hovey tries to find the donut, can't do it. It's back to Cameron Wise, and Wise throws it through the Falcons to give Ball State a 4-1 lead. Not a whole lot of high-quality sets here from the Falcons early, and that first touch hasn't been the best. Carson Tyler serves. Sheetek, good set off to Williams, and Williams throws it down in the middle of the Ball State court.
Might have been the best set that Sheetek has had so far this season. That was falling backwards basically off one foot, cross court to a 31 ball to Kendall Williams. Very well done by the sophomore.
Hovey serves now. Carson Tyler digs it out. It's a bump set from Lindsey Green. Off the block and into Avery Hobson, who ups it. Hovey the set, Vaswachik the strike, and it's peeled up by Ledbetter. Now over to the left side. Van Oort pokes it over, and Vaswachik keeps it up. Hovey back to Andrews, playing the right side now. Back to Ball State. Cameron Wise spins it off the net, over the net. Will go for the joust at the net. Is won by Cameron Wise. Now Andrews throws it down on her swing from the right side. Jessica Andrews stepping into the game and making a play immediately.
That's a great job by Kendall Williams to contest the middle when Jessica Andrews had that overpass. And a great job by Sydney Hernandez to keep that ball up, stepping into the front row.
4-4, Bowling Green and Ball State after Carson Tyler played a ball that maybe was going to go wide after the serve from Lauren Hovey.
Lauren Hovey with another ace.
Falcon All-American gets her first ace of the match. Had one yesterday as well. Serves Ledbetter now, who steps in front of Carson Tyler. Sets it to the left side. Van Oort, a big rip up the seam, and Van Oort nails it down. 5-4, Ball State early in the first set.
Van Oort, we don't say her name nearly as much as Carson Tyler's, but also a great undersized hitter, yes, but a great hitter for this Cardinal team.
Hovey has to set way cross court. Vaswachik hits the hands and sends it long.
Falcons looking a lot more comfortable in this first set than they did in the first one yesterday.
Yeah.
The offense looking a lot more fluid with Lauren Hovey setting right off the bat in this match, as opposed to yesterday where she kind of came in later
Avery
on.
Anders serves an overpass. Hobson reaches up, throws it back down. We didn't say Anders' name as much yesterday, especially considering Hernandez got a lot of the attention from Ball State attackers. Green to Van Oort. Van Oort's blocked away, and it falls in. Andrews and Williams on the right side for the Falcons. Looking to establish that block early.
The three middle blockers that are in this rotation for Bowling Green all block so well, and that wall of Andrews with either Wilford or Williams is so lethal.
Avery Anders caught a step back on the back row, and Gwen Kroll throws it down just in front of her. 7-6, Bowling Green. Lindsey Green steps off. Reese Axness steps on for Ball State. Had a pretty good setting game yesterday. 27 assists. Lindsey Green, the junior and certainly the senior of the two, or the veteran, had only 28. Axness sets up Van Oort. Van Oort pokes it over. Hovey slides in on her knees to make the save. Hobson, a low angle swing, dug out nicely by Van Oort. Back set to Ashby, kept up by Hernandez on a nice play. Hobson, another swing, dug out by Ledbetter. Perfect set by Axness to Gwen Kroll. It's kept up by Bowling Green off the net, and it falls down on the Falcon side. Nice long rally there, but inevitably won by the Cardinals.
Cardinals with some smart attacking. They had to take control early on in that rally.
Hovey set to the middle. Williams is blocked. Solo in the middle by Gwen Kroll. Ball State reading kind of what we were was the Falcons trying to find the middles.
A little too slow on that middle attack.
Andrews with the pushover. Ledbetter to Van Oort. Van Oort off the block and high over the back line of the Falcons. 9-7, Ball State leads. They've got 3 in a row. Not been able to get Andrews a solid set yet. And while they've saved all of their first passes, not the best setting situations. Hobson here off the good set, and it's a kill from the right side by Gwen Kroll.
Blocking great early on here. Cardinals had a great blocking set in the first one yesterday as well.
She's got 2 block kills early. Here's Hobson to go off the block and out the side. Ashby on the right there.
And that's what Hobson likes. She can hit the high out-of-system balls well, but she prefers to get those go balls on the outside so she can really get free and let them rip.
BG trails 2. Kendall Williams, her serve is handled easily by Ball State. Van Ort gets a swing off of the blockers of the Falcons and out of play. Van Ort's been pretty solid early here. And that's nice to see if you're Ball State, considering Carson Tyler is a weapon every game. And you add another left side to that, it's harder
nice
offensive attack to handle.
Yeah, it's nice to have those 2 outside hitters.
And there's a bid block from Carson Tyler. She doesn't need to swing to get points for Ball State. Her and Gwen Kroll stepped over on the left side to complete the block, and it's a 4-point lead for Ball State now.
Tyler plays all the way around for Ball State. She can do basically anything they need her to do on the floor.
Andrews again, a couple of steps up and not the slide that she's normally had. Swinging through the Bowling Green block is Carson Tyler. Hovey had to touch the net to try and keep the ball in play. And it's 13-8 Ball State now. 5 in a row will force a timeout to be called by Alex Del Piombo. 13-8 Ball State leads early in the first set here in the Stroh Center. Bowling Green and Ball State on WBGU 88.1 FM.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune into WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
I had 5 drunk driving charges in the last 6 years of my drinking, and I drank for over 55 years. My probation officer threatened me with a year in jail. So the next day I went to my first AA meeting. I had tried many times in my life to quit drinking, but always went back to even heavier drinking. For me, the AA program has been the easier, softer way to stop drinking.
Visit AA.org for more information and download the Meeting Guide app to find a...
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
Service errors, a lot of them early for Bowling Green. 4 of them to only 6 kills. Ball State swung very efficiently, 8 for 16 with only 1 error and a .438 hitting percentage. That's how you got to beat this Ball State team, essentially, Andrew, is to outswing them. Yesterday, Bowling Green did outswing them, and yet still was not able to come away with the victory.
Yeah, you know, stats oftentimes don't tell the story of the game in volleyball. I mean, Ball State is a team that just finds a way to win.
Hovey to Hobson. Hobson's blocked. She gets a second swing here, and Tabling keeps it up. Very strong block early from these Ball State Cardinals. There's a blocking response from the Falcons. It was Andrews on the right side. I think got the majority of the ball and gets a quick point back to the Falcons.
Wilford helping out Andrews there. Looking right now, the Falcons with a .087 hitting percentage, not swinging very effectively. Looked really good through those first few points, but have fallen off here.
Tabling to Axness. Axness to Tyler. Tyler's kept up by Hernandez. Nice play defensively by Bowling Green and Ball State. And Gwen Kroll gets the overpass kill. And a good read by Helen Wilford on the Bowling Green end to at least get up for it. Ball State keeps their serving pace up. Sheetek back to Hovey. Hovey swings through. Overpass from Axness on the back row, but she saved it. Over to the middle. Wilford kind of missed her attack, but found the floor somehow. And BG climbs within 4.
Her and Sheetek haven't exactly been sinking in the middle up till this point, but worked out there. Managed to just get enough of her hand on the ball to get a kill.
Tabling digs it out. Axness has to bump set. Carson Tyler still a full swing. Sheetek will set to the left side. Vaswalczyk, low angle shot, and it's saved by Ball State. Ashby gets a swing now. Sheetek digs it up. It's back to the Cardinals. Tabling to Tyler. Tyler goes high off the hands of the Bowling Green block and gets another kill. That's Carson Tyler's 3rd of the match on her 8th attack.
A great job by her finding that corner. Very accurate on the roll. Went long with it over the head of Hobson, who was in the back row.
And a service ace there from Lindsey Green targeted Avery Hobson, who's the Falcon leader in reception errors. 45 now on the season for the junior transfer. Sheetek to the left side. Vaswacek off the block, out of play. She did a good job tooling the block yesterday, and she's done a pretty good start to that today as well.
And that's a great job by Anna Sheetek to keep that set nice and high. Is a very distinct difference between how Vaswacek and Hobson like to get their sets. Eddie likes to get them very high in the air.
Snook on a nice play, pokes it back right corner of Bowling Green's court, and Ball State leads 17-11. Not the greatest second touch there for Ball State, but Snook was able to find open space. Carson Tyler serves, rolls it into Hobson, who digs it out. Overpass. Ball State reaches over, pushes it back. And a timeout will be called by Alex Del Piombo. 18-11. Ball State leading Bowling Green here in the first set and kind of running away with it with about 5 points in a row. You're listening to Bowling Green Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network will have an in-studio pregame show for all football broadcasts this season, beginning approximately 25 minutes before the kickoff for each game. Make sure to tune in on Falcon Radio for our newly extended coverage.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Every 2 minutes, another American is sexually assaulted. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, you are not alone. Help is just a call or click away through the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Please call 1-800-656-HOPE, that's HOPE, or visit rain.org, that's RAINN.org.
Brought to you by Rain and this station.
You are listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
18-11, Ball State leads after the second timeout called by Alex Del Piombo here. Kind of later stages of the first set. Ball State took a victory over Bowling Green last night, Thursday night. A 5-set victory, won by 3 in the 5 set, a back and forth all game. Bowling Green looking to replicate a nice performance again today. Vaswacek from the left side, dug out by Van Oort. Lindsey Green sets up Snook. Snook a blast through the seam of the Falcons setter and outside hitter, Sheetek and Hobson. Ball State takes another. They lead by 8. And a huge run here needed by the Falcons to climb back in. Hobson with an overpass at the net, won by Cameron Wise. And Anastasia Bozic will check in. We'll see for who. It's going to be Avery Hobson.
Hoping Bozic can handle the serve receive better than Hobson has been.
She's a solid defensive player. She has to make a diving effort on the first one. Hovey tips it over. Diving is Ledbetter to save it off the ground. Now back row attack by Carson Tyler, and it flies in and through.
Cardinals now just running away with this set. They're playing very well and taking advantage of every mistake that BG makes.
Bozic digs it out. Sheetek sets up the middle. Williams can't follow through. Back to Bowling Green. Sheetek to Hovey. Hovey hits the net, hits the ground, and the Falcons take their first point in way too many. 21-12, Ball State leads.
As the Falcons, you have to know that you're most likely not going to win this set, but you have to build yourself momentum, get plays strung together, run your offense well, get a couple blocks maybe, just make yourself feel a little bit better about heading into the second set.
Hovey drops it in. Tyler digs it out. Van Oort with the swing off the block high in the air, and Hernandez is there to pick it up. Hovey to Vaswacek. Vaswacek's dug out by Ledbetter, who's been stellar on the back row in this series. Bozic has to go into the BG bench to keep the ball alive, and Hernandez will dump it over to Ball State. Green sets to the right side. Snook pokes it back corner again. Tiffany Snook is able to find the open space on the floor. 22-12. Ball State leads.
And a tip like that needs to be a lot of communication to pick that one up because it's tough to go and get.
Service error there from Ledbetter. She sends it long.
Ledbetter, you mentioned a little bit, she playing incredible. Like, she played well yesterday, but she's playing really well right now. Eddie is going for the same spot she was hitting consistently yesterday, and Ledbetter has picked it up basically every time so far today.
Next serve, Avery Anders. She misses the mark as well, 23-13. Ball State maintains the 10-point lead. 26 digs yesterday for Sydney Hernandez. Sophie Ledbetter had only 13, but only one reception error on 53 service targets. Anders to Hovey. Hovey back sets Andrews. First big swing of the day for Jessica Andrews, and she nails it through. It's more been the setting, I think, Andrew, that they haven't really been able to nail down, and that was a very nice set, and they got a kill quickly from it.
Yeah, and that setting is, especially with Anna Shatek, is not necessarily entirely on her. A couple maybe went awry, but the serve receive just was not up to where it needed to be in order for Shatek to get clean balls to her hitters.
Maria Tabak serves from the Falcons. Gwen Kroll on the slide and is rejected on the left side by Avery Hobson.
This is what I mean. The Falcons might not win this set, but let's get some momentum. That has to be their mindset. Let's take this 1 point at a time, build some momentum, and win the second set. And if you're the Cardinals, your thought process is let's not let that happen and close this one out real quick.
Ledbetter digs it out. Bump from behind the line for Axness. It's back to Bowling Green, a nice defensive play. Hobson off the hands into the Ball State bench line. Oh, man.
That was very
So they did not call
touch.
off the hands. And Del Piombo will use a challenge on this, and this will most assuredly be overturned. I apologize for the call. I thought it was pretty clear that it went off the hands, but
I don't blame you as well. That looked like a very, unless it hit the net, but it looked very clearly off the hands.
24-15 as it stands right now. Might have been challenged anyway, considering it's set point if the point stands with Ball State.
I mean, every single fan in attendance booing that call. I think even some of the Ball State fans were surprised that no touch was called there. And what's interesting to me is that the line judge didn't see it. I mean, it's very difficult for the referees to tell sometimes, but as the point now goes to Bowling Green, there was a touch. Didn't even need to put the replay on the big board for us to know that.
23-16. Ball State still leads, but pretty decently sized run here for the Falcons, who are trying to stop the runaway train of Ball State there as they were rolling through the Falcons. Tabak serves again. Axness sets up a middle attack, and Carson Tyler just has to dump it over. Miscommunication. Here's Hovey to Andrews. Andrews put it right on the back line. A nice strike for the senior middle blocker / right side. And a timeout called by Kelly Miller-Phillips of Ball State after this Bowling Green run that has brought them within 6 of the Cardinals, 23-17. And Andrew, you mentioned, they might not be able to win this first set, but this is what you want to see out of the Falcons, is some more fight and some improved play going into the second.
Yeah, no, it's incredibly difficult to put this sort of a run together this late in the set and come in with a victory here. But they're doing exactly what they need to do is build that momentum. Maria Tabak coming in to serve, and she's serving well right now. Glad to see it. She hasn't come in as a pinch server in quite a few matches now, so really good to see her back on the floor as the Falcons are trying to just, if they can make this at least interesting, get to 20 and come out of this set knowing that they have some offensive looks that will work in this match, make the Cardinals a little bit scared. You can know that, like, if you don't let the Cardinals go on that very long run by them, which was a great job by Ball State to go on that run, if you don't allow that to happen, they know they're winning this first set. And if you go into the second set with that mindset, you're going to come out with a victory there and tie this thing up at 1-1. But again, not over yet.
Maria Tabak still serves for the Falcons. No aces, but a lot of points for Bowling Green resulting from her serves. Dug out by Ledbetter. Axness set from behind the 3-meter line to Van Ort. Van Ort spins it off the block and out of play, and there Ball State finally gets to set point, 24-17.
A great play by them out of the timeout. Quick 1, 2, 3, a go ball to the outside. Van Ort tooling the block well as she checks out of the game for the moment.
Williams in for Tabak, and then Hernandez in for Williams. Serve from Elizabeth Tabling from Ball State. Hovey set to Hobson. Hobson's dug out by Tabling. Overpass. Wilford smacks it through. 24-18, still set point for the Cardinals.
Good control by Wilford, not swinging, knowing she doesn't have anybody contesting her, not doing a full swing and just honestly just hitting it with her fist really and landing it on the back line instead of overshooting it.
On a Sheetek in, so Hovey will rotate out to the right side now. Axness sets up Tyler. Tyler off the block, kept up by Sheetek. Bump set to Hovey. Hovey into the block, and it's kept alive just barely by Tabling back row. Sheetek to Hovey, and Hovey puts it away anyway.
Lauren Hovey will not be denied for long. She is one of, if not the best hitter in the MAC for a reason. She won Player of the Year last year for a reason. She's going to go up and get hers.
Axness sets Ashby, and Ashby has to flip it over to the Falcons. Sheetek to Hovey. Oh, what a nice play, Lauren Hovey, to push it off the blockers softly enough so there's no rebound, and it falls down on Ball State's side of the court. So the Falcons are making this first set look a lot better than it probably was for the majority of it. But Bowling Green's within 4. And it'll end on a service error for Anna Sheetek. But some very nice things to see from Bowling Green and the later half of that first set. 25-20, the final score of the first here in the Stroh Center. Bowling Green and Ball State, with Ball State leading 1-0. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media takes pictures for nearly all BGSU and Bowling Green related events throughout the year. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to check out thousands of photos and all the content.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hovey on the BGSU volleyball team, and these are my Falcon 4 off-day activities. My first one would be spend time with family and friends if they're in town, because I love them. My second one would be read my book because it's relaxing. My third one would be go get coffee because who doesn't love coffee? And my fourth one would be go get groceries so I can make food for the week.
What kind of help does the IRS have for identity theft victims?
If you suspect you're a victim of tax-related identity theft, go to irs.gov/identity theft to learn how to prevent potential refund fraud and protect your tax account. At the IRS, combating tax-related identity theft is a top priority, and we are committed to prevention, detection, and assisting victims. And we're working with law enforcement to catch the criminals. For more info, go to irs.gov/identity theft to learn what the IRS is doing to help protect you.
Falcon Media Sports Network writes and publishes over 1,000 stories per year, including game previews, recaps, sidebars, opinion pieces, feature stories, and more. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to view all of our content for every sport throughout the year.
Falcon Volleyball on the radio at 88.1 FM and online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in the Stroh Center, Bowling Green Volleyball down 1-0 to Ball State. Ben Korek here with Andrew Smith from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Andrew, if Bowling Green comes out in the second set and plays like they did at the end half of that first set, I think they're going to find a very different result than they did in the first.
Absolutely. I think they outscored Ball State by a wide margin in the back half. Not the back half, excuse me, but the back part of that first set. If the Falcons can find it in them to play like that throughout the rest of this set and this match, they're going to come out with a victory pretty handedly. But Cardinals are not just going to let them do that. We saw that yesterday. It looked like the Falcons were just going to keep rolling after a second set win, and the Cardinals forced extras and then won the third set. So Ball State, never a team that's going to just let you roll right over them. And they're especially not going to easily let you beat them at their own game, as the Falcons did yesterday. However, not today, at least not until this point.
Amazing how tight these two teams are, considering, you know, we're looking at 1-1 for Ball State, and kind of assuming this is going to go to 5 sets, considering how unlikely it is that either side wins 3 in a row, although we certainly could see it. Anna Sheetek serves for the Falcons, right side of the court. Stacked rotation for the Falcons, and Sheetek serves long and back left of Ball State's side. So the first point goes to the Cardinals.
Sheetek, as the last set ended, put the one into the net and then kind of an overcorrect there.
Gwen Kroll, a nice serve. Tapes it, rolls over. Falcons going to swing. Hovey on the right side, nails it through.
Lauren Hovey seems much more herself today than she did yesterday. It looks that way to me, Ben. I mean, she's hitting all her usual spots and looks a lot more comfortable.
Hovey, the match leader in kills, 5 for 10. Over the middle, Axness, a swing for Cameron Wise, and either she hit a hand or it caught the side of the court. Either way, it's a Ball State point.
And that quick to Wise is, well, fast, and she gets up so quickly. Despite her 5'11" frame, and yeah, she just
catches the set almost on the way up. Vaswacek pokes it over. Green keeps it up. Whistle blows, and net line violation, it looks like, from Bowling Green. Maybe Vaswacek stepped over. 3-1, Ball State leads. Green, a high arcing serve. Sheetek to Vaswacek. Vaswacek, oh, just long in the back line. A nice hit from Eddie, and she just misses. Next serve dug out. Sheetek back to Hovey. Hovey tries to find the center court, and Ledbetter keeps it up. And a dump play back from Ball State. Hobson to Sheetek. Sheetek to the left side. Vaswacek again. Dug out by Elizabeth Tabling. Now to Carson Tyler. Tyler's dug out one-handed by Hernandez. Sheetek to Vaswacek. Off the block and out the side of the court.
And Eddie getting a few chances early on here. Finally gets the kill there. Great job tooling the block. She's really trying to hit that back corner, but just has not been able to land a kill there.
Hernandez targets Ledbetter to the middle. Wise again and puts it in the back corner of the court beautifully again for Cameron Wise.
If I were BG and I saw Wise getting that set so often, I'd move more into that left corner on their side of the court, because that seems to be the only place she can hit that ball.
Sheetek to Hovey, misses the blocker's hands and long out of play. So still a 4-point lead for Ball State, 6-2. Cameron Wise, you would imagine she had more kills yesterday based on how well she was playing. She only had 9. Missed double digits just by 1. Hovey mashes again. Oh, and again misses the hands. Hovey had 5 kills on 11 attacks up until this set, and now 2 errors. A nice serve, topspin in for Carson Tyler. Loops in front of Vaswacek, who can't handle it on the back row, and 8-2. Ball State leads and forces a timeout to be called by Alex Del Piombo. Andrew at Ball State starting this set like they played midway through the last one. Long stretch of points, and the Falcons can't seem to turn the ball back over.
Falcons just can't seem, besides in that last set, both yesterday and today, can't seem to go on very long runs, which is something they need to do to get momentum back on their side. It's something that the Cardinals have been doing in both matches, and the Falcons just haven't been able to really get their serves going the way that they were against NIU and the way they have been really all season. Something that needs to turn around. They're trying to be aggressive with them, but not placing them like they usually do.
17 kills for the Falcons, only one behind Ball State, but they have 6 more attacking errors on their 12 more total attacks, and they're trailing in hitting percentage by over 250 points of hitting percentage. I mean, you're really never going to win a match trailing that much in hitting efficiency unless you're taking 200 swings per match, which is just completely unfeasible.
Yeah. Never going to happen. But the Falcons can turn around. This is the great thing about volleyball is momentum can change in an instant, and you can find yourself in the lead or losing very quickly.
4 players for the Falcons with over 3 kills, none of them with over a 250 hitting percentage. 3 Cardinals have 4+ kills, and all of them above a 250 hitting percentage. Hobson to Sheetek. Sheetek to the middle. Williams smacks it long of the back line again, and Ball State will continue to push pace with their serve.
Falcons just can't land a hit inside the court.
Spins a top spin in. Hobson to Hovey. Hovey a bump set to Vaswacek. Steps in toward the court. Ledbetter touches the ball as it was traveling pretty sizably along in the back line. So the Falcons luck out there. Falcons, on what was probably headed to another attacking error.
They need to get on top of the ball. They need to swing down. Just everything is long.
Hovey from the right side of the court. A nice serve, but won't get over the net. Taped it on her side, and again turns the ball back over to the Cardinals. Cardinals 2 aces, 1 error. Ledbetter has one of the errors and gets another one there.
Falcons got lucky there, but they need to find a way to go on a run. I don't know what rotation that will arrive in, but something needs to change.
Anders in the serve, and another service error for the Falcons. That's their 5th. And
second in a row.
Yeah, 15 total errors for the Falcons between serving and attacking. Only 18 total kills. So they're pretty much barely in the positive. Hobson to Hovey. Hovey to Hobson, a deep attack, rolls it over to Carson Tyler. Axness to Van Noort. Van Noort can't get it to land, and the Falcons have to dump it over there. Back to Axness. Axness to the middle. Gwen Krull off of a Falcon. Anders almost dives into the press bench, the opposite side of the court from us, but it falls out of play, and Reese Axness keeps the serve for Ball State. It's 12-4. Hobson to Hovey. Hovey sets back to Hobson, off the block, up in the air, and back to Bowling Green. Hovey now reverses field to Andrews. Andrews is blocked on her slide by Gwen Krull and Noelle Van Oort. And second timeout will have to be called by Alex Del Piombo before the 15-point mark. 13-4. Ball State leads Bowling Green here in the second set, and the Cardinals lead 1-0 over the Falcons in the Stroh Center as well. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For the second straight year, Falcon Media Sports Network is partnering with WBGU PBS to broadcast Falcon men's and women's soccer matches. Tune in to WBGU PBS YouTube's live streams to hear Lucas Kleinmeyer, Henry Costco, and other Falcon Media Sports Network talent on the call.
Kids ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Check out more Falcon athletic coverage online at bgfalconmedia.com.
Back here in the Stroh Center, Bowling Green trailing by 9 to Ball State. Andrew, what are you seeing from the Falcons right now that's put them down by so much?
They're just not playing like themselves. Missing their swings, not receiving well, just everything is going poorly.
Andrews goes off the block and long out of play, so the Falcons get a quick point back out of the timeout.
But again, you need to go on a run. You can't just chip away at this lead one by one, not when it's by 8 or 9 points. You need to actually put runs together.
Kendall Williams to Ledbetter, to Axness, to Van Ort, and it's back to the Falcons. They'll get a swing. Hobson from outside of the field of play now gets a block on the Glenn Krull swing, and Bowling Green takes a point back within 7 now.
If you're Ball State, you got to get that one back up. That ball was falling to the floor pretty slowly. Somebody needs to get hands on that. Cannot let Bowling Green to gain back confidence and get back in this match.
Ledbetter to Axness. Axness sets the middle. Ashby puts it off of the block and out of play. Anders was well placed on the back row for that Ashby attack, but Ashby went off the side hands of the blockers and it fell down just wide of the diving sophomore Avery Anders. Tabling, defensive specialist, serves Hobson to Hovey. Hovey back sets Andrews on the slide, poked it over. Glenn Krull pokes it back to the Falcons. Hobson gets it on the right side of the pin and over. Krull dumps it over. Now Hernandez back to the Falcons. Hobson with a swing, down off the block.
Hobson needs to come alive for the Falcons. She was quiet yesterday in comparison to how she usually plays, and she's been quiet so far today. She needs to step up in a big way and deliver some punches to the Cardinals if the Falcons hope to get back in this set and get back in this match.
Shetek serves to Ledbetter. Ashby will get another swing from the right side now, off the block. Back to Hovey. Hovey down off the block. Bowling Green continuing to utilize the front court of Ball State. Now trailing only 6. Shetek serves, Tabling digs it out. Axness back to Ashby. Ashby from the right side, a one-handed save by Shetek, almost into the Bowling Green bench. Bumps that back to Hobson, is kept alive by Axness on the Ball State side. Now Ashby tips it over. Wilford gets a block with one fingertip. And BG pretty much back into this game now. Only a 5-point deficit, 14-9, and this is a lot more reasonable.
That's going to be a challenge by Ball State that Wilford reached over to block that ball.
Well, I think they said they were challenging whether Wilford hit the net or not. I think that's what the announcement was.
Understandable.
Whether that's accurate or not, I don't know.
Either which way, it's
it did
an
look like the net.
challenge.
It did look like the net moved, but I couldn't tell whether it was hand or ball. And that would have been a tough call even for the officials here to make. 14-9 right now with the Bowling Green point as it stands. We'll see how this turns around. In about 15 minutes, Bowling Green hockey plays in the Slater Family Ice Arena against Windsor. Their last exhibition match before conference play starts next week against Lake Superior State. Tune in to Falcon Radio, streaming at bgfalconmedia.com. Nathan Burkett, Aiden Bruick on the call from the Slater Family Ice Arena.
A lot of freshmen playing on that hockey team this season.
Yeah. A lot of excitement, especially with the youth of the team. But 2 losses to Niagara a week ago now. A loss in the exhibition game to Robert Morris. They've yet to find their first win. So looking to do so before conference play starts. Official has his decision from the press bench. We'll tell the official scores Whistle blows, gives the point to Bowling Green. So Wilford did not touch the net. The point will stand with the Falcons, and one of the challenges for Kelly Miller Phillips is lost. She'll argue the point with the official, but
that's been kind of a theme with her challenges from what I've seen of her last year and now this season as well.
Anna Shetek serves right side of the Bowling Green court. Tabling, Ledbetter, and Carson Tyler all in the backcourt, all very nice defensive players. Tabling saves it. Krull dumps it over. Shetek centers it back to Hobson. Hobson through the back row off of Elizabeth Tabling and deep out of play.
Those swings that Bowling Green were getting, that were going a little bit long, now look like they're getting close to the back line, or at least hitting the hands of the Ball State blockers. It's a good sign.
14-11 there after a service ace for Anna Shetek. That's 11-1 run for the Falcons since the timeout was called 13-4 by Alex Del Piombo. Ledbetter to Axness. Axness pushes it over to Tyler and dump play back to the Falcons. Shetek back to Hovey. Hovey down the line, just misses the court wide. So it'll finally be turned back over to Ball State, but an effective run for the Falcons, who brought it within a manageable distance.
You got to make sure that a run doesn't happen for Ball State now, though.
Anders a shallow bump to Shetek. Shetek gets it high in the air, and Hobson couldn't time it up. So 16-11 now. Ball State takes 2 in a row. Anders to Shetek. Shetek sets to Hobson. Hobson gets blocked, but the block from Ashby misses the court. Now within 4.
And it's good to cut off that service by Krull. There's a reason she's serving as a middle blocker, and it's because she has a strong float serve. It's a good job by the Falcons to cut it off early.
Serve wide. So the Falcons will give the point back, still trailed by 5 as Ball State's approaching the 20-point mark, 17-12.
6 service errors to only 2 for Ball State. Same amount of aces, 2 each.
Shetek sets long to Wasławczyk. The Polish connection fires on all thrusters. There's 17-13.
A nice swing by Wasławczyk on a cut shot just beyond the 10-foot line, the opposite side of the court from her.
Hernandez serves. Ledbetter digs, but keeps the ball in the back row. A deep bump set. Carson Tyler gets a swing, but it's back to the Falcons. Pushing it to the backcourt is Bowling Green. Snook gets another push. No swings, but 3 attacks so far. There's the first big attack from Hovey. And she fires it to the Terraflex. 17-14. Ball State still leads, but it's the Falcons' serve. Hernandez, ball dives in. Cameron Wise, a soft attack. Now Shetek recenters to Wasławczyk. Big dig there by Tabling. Snook is blocked. Tyler puts it on the line on a first touch. What a swing by Carson Tyler.
What a play by the sophomore. Such a great athlete going up and swinging on that ball.
Hernandez digs it out. Shetek sets from the 3-meter line to Hovey. Hovey off the block and out the back.
Worst person to target on that topspin serve. Sydney Hernandez has proven time and time again that she receives topspin so well.
12 digs already through about the 1.5 set mark. 26 yesterday. I don't know what the pace is, but it feels certainly like she could. Actually, she's above pace now for a career high. Hernandez bump set to Wasławczyk, and Wasławczyk can't flip it over the net. 19-15, BG trying to break out of around the 4-point deficit that they've been at, just trading points back and forth with Ball State.
Yeah, they need to go on a little bit of a run here, get closer. Just get a couple points back.
Hovey to Andrews. Andrews can't land it. Now Carson Tyler, a back row attack, and no blockers there to pick it up, and indefensible by Bowling Green, 20-15, as Ledbetter goes back to serve. Hobson to Hovey. Hovey sets to the left side. Vaswacek off the block, falls onto the Ball State side of the court. Green to Van Ort. Van Ort, first time we've said her name in a while. Hovey back to Andrews. Andrews dug out by Green. Van Ort on the left side again. Gets blocked. It's to the Bowling Green side. Pushed back over by Tiffany Snook. And 21-15. Del Piombo asking if there was a reach over, but I don't think there was.
What an emergency set by Ledbetter.
Overpass by Bowling Green, dug out by Hernandez, but out of play. That first touch by Bowling Green off of the serve results in a Ball State point. A 7-point lead for the Cardinals, 22-15. They lead 1-0 as well. The Falcons will huddle up on their side of the court. It looks like we have a damp spot on the floor possibly. So they're cleaning that up. Interesting to note as well, Andrew, don't know if you've noticed it especially, but Ball State pushing the pace a lot, especially with their serves, getting back and serving it pretty quickly.
They push the pace, from the service line also they push the pace in their offense. I mean, the fact that Ledbetter's going for that speed on an emergency set there from where she was is crazy, and the fact they went for a back row attack with Tyler was also wild.
Vaswacek off the block. Ledbetter gets two hands on it, and she probably should have got a set off, but it flips over her head. But until we've seen a high-paced opponent for Ball State, which is certainly the highest pace we've seen this season, Bowling Green plays at a relatively slow pace, all things considered. Certainly more methodical than Kelly Miller-Phillips' team does.
Absolutely, Ben. They tend to use that height to their advantage.
Green sets back over her head to Snook, and Snook nails it through on the right side. 23-16. And again, like the first set, Bowling Green will have to just hope they put together a bit of a run and come out hot in the third. Hobson to Hovey. Hovey back sets to Andrews. Andrews goes off the block and back over her head. So BG gets a point back. Wilford and Tabak will step onto the floor.
Would need to be a phenomenal run by the Falcons to get back in this one.
And again, that offensive efficiency is playing havoc on the Falcons' chances. More kills, more assists, more blocks. Pretty close to the same amount of digs, the same amount of aces, but too many attacking errors and too many service errors. Hovey backsets Andrews on the slide, off the block, high in the air, and savable for the Cardinals. Van Ort, her attack is blocked by Wilford. BG within 5.
Look for Van Ort on her next attack to go for a roll or a tip. She gets blocked like that. The long tip has been working for her, placing it in that corner. So look for her to change it up and go back to one of those.
Transfer from Indiana State, 1,724 kills in her time at Indiana State, which spanned from 2021 to 2024. Here's Hobson off the block. Carson Tyler gets the up. Van Ort from the left side is blocked again.
Didn't change it up and got stuffed again.
Maybe she should have changed it up. Kelly Miller-Phillips takes a timeout. The Falcons climb within 4, 23-19. A big comeback needed for Bowling Green to have the best chance at winning the second set in the match. You're listening to Bowling Green Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Still undefeated in the last 2 months, BGSU women's soccer looks to continue their 12-game undefeated streak against Ball State in the first of their final 4 conference games. The Cardinals come to Cochran Stadium on Sunday, October 19th. Watch the match with Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Holden Ruck on the video live stream on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
Ever wanted to hear what a BGSU coach or player says after a game? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to watch post-game press conferences for all BGSU home volleyball, soccer, football, hockey, and basketball games.
You are listening to Falcon Media Sports Network coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM in Bowling Green, Ohio. WBGU 88.1 FM, the home of live Falcon volleyball coverage.
23-19, back-to-back blocks by Helen Wilford and Jessica Andrews on Noelle Van Ort. An attack for Carson Tyler, dug out by Tabak. It's got over by Bowling Green. Andrews pushes it back over on an overpass, and Tyler will dump it back to the Falcons. Big point here for Bowling Green. Hovey to Hobson. Hobson gets blocked, but it's blocked out of play. Falcons breaking a 3-point deficit for the first time, maybe since it was 3-1. But it's 23-20. Here in the second set, Ball State leads 1-0.
Maybe a little bit of luck there, but that's something the Falcons will take.
Tabak serves into the net, gives the point back, and gives set point to the Ball State Cardinals. Back-to-back sets now. First set won 25-20. This one 24-20 currently. Back-to-back sets, Bowling Green's put together a heck of a run to end it, but just not enough.
They need to be better in the beginning half of the set.
Hobson to Hovey. Hovey 4 sets to Hobson. Hobson's blocked, and Ashby and Krull are there to end the set for Bowling Green and Ball State. The Cardinals in the driver's seat, 2-0. They've won over Bowling Green in the second match in a Ball State Bowling Green series, the number 1 and number 2 teams in the Mid-American Conference coming into the weekend. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
What's going on, guys? I'm Darius Lorfields, junior safety here at BG. My Falcon 4 favorite things for homecoming, definitely seeing some of the alumni, the big crowd, hearing them roar, the Falcon Walk pregame, getting to see more people, and then just winning the game overall and celebrating after. Go Falcons.
Head coach Tanner Barton and undefeated Bowling Green women's swim and dive races against Miami of Ohio in BG's Cooper Pool on Saturday, October 18th at 1 p.m. Make sure to head over to bgfalconmedia.com for the recap of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network's Austin Roos and for additional information on BGSU's athletics.
Eddie George and Falcon football look for a winning record as they take on Central Michigan during family weekend at the Doit on Saturday, October 18th at noon. Tune into Falcon Radio, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com for the broadcast from Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Carter Leonard. Additionally, Nate Hinners, Adam Duffin, and Andrew Hilkowski host the pregame, halftime, and postgame show, starting at 11:35 a.m.
Javante Campbell and BGSU men's basketball kicks off this season with an exhibition game against Michigan State in the Spartans Breslin Center in East Lansing, Michigan. Tune in to Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Artie Abrego on the call at 6:45 p.m. on Thursday, October 23rd on Falcon Radio, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
This is BGSU volleyball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM from the Falcon Media Sports Network.
First two sets, 25-20 wins for Ball State. They lead 2-0 over the Falcons right now. First set and second set both pretty tight early. Ball State pulled away in the middle bits. Falcons put a pretty good comeback on the board, brought it within 5 points, but Ball State ended up coming away with the victory. Ben Korak here with Andrew Smith from the Falcon Media Sports Network for all BGSU sports news and updates, including the recap of today's match. Go to bgfalconmedia.com and BG_FMSN on Twitter X. Andrew, big things you want to see for the Falcons to be able to complete a reverse sweep, which they'll need to get their 7th win in that clip.
They just need to play better in the beginning of the first set, in the beginning of the set. That's literally it. They played really, really well in the back half of both sets. They need to come out like that immediately as soon as the set starts. It starts at 0-0 for a reason going into each set. So take advantage of that and go point for point with Ball State going into that back part of the set, and then go on your run and actually take a win.
Lindsey Green, first serve. Hobson dives to keep the ball alive. Vaswacek gets a swing and gets blocked and is back to the Falcons. Eddie will get another one. Misses the hand. Oh, it hit the hands, says the official. And Bowling Green takes the first point, and for the first time in any of the 3 sets this match.
They're very complimentary of the line judges yesterday. Not getting the same compliments tonight, I don't think, for either team.
Green to Snook. Snook fires wide of the sideline, so Bowling Green takes 2 in a row. Last season, first match of MAC play. Bowling Green in Worthen Arena in Muncie, Indiana against Ball State. Lost the first 2 sets, completed a reverse sweep of the Cardinals, 1-5, and then the very next day completed a 3-set sweep of Ball State to get their first 2 wins in Mid-American Conference play. Ended up going 16-2 overall and winning the Mid-American Conference regular season. Vaswacek off the hands, out of the back of the Ball State court. 3 in a row to start the 3rd set for the Falcons, and that's the hot start Andrew wanted.
That's exactly what they needed to do. They just needed to get it to their hitters, in system, serve, receive well, not make their same mistakes, and they'll do just fine here.
Green sets back on the slide. Snook fires cross court. Hobson tried a one-handed approach, but misplayed it. 3-1. Now Ball State takes their first point.
Ball State not really much of a right side threat on the team. Just do a bunch of different movements with the middle.
Carson Tyler goes back to serve. Very hard hit top spin serve into the net, targeting Avery Hobson, it looked like.
And that's really lucky for the Falcons that Tyler goes into the net there. Now, can they capitalize and get a little bit of a run here?
Lauren Hovey, more conservative serve than we've seen from Lauren in the past, but she serves it into the tape and doesn't get it over the net. 4-2. Bowling Green leads here in the 3rd. Ledbetter to Hobson. Hobson digs it out. Hovey set with the left foot on the 3-meter line. Vaswalchik's dug out by Ledbetter. Set from Carson Tyler. Attack from Green, it looked like. Couldn't tell who it was. The stand official was in my way. Did you get a good view, Andrew?
I believe it was Van Ort.
Van Ort.
Out of the back row.
Either way, it was shot wide of the far sideline. Anders to Van Ort to Green. Green back sets to Snook. Snook on the slide, dug out by Lauren Hovey. Anders to Andrews. Andrews rolls it over the net. Back to Ball State. Green to Krull. Gwen Krull finds the back end of the court to the left of a diving Avery Anders, who I think the sophomore defensive specialist spends more time laying out than she does standing upright on the volleyball court. She's all over the place all the time.
Max intensity and max hustle all the time from Avery Anders.
Anders a bump set to Hobson. Hobson a big strike. Van Ort can't dig it out.
And a well-placed bump set there by Anders.
That's her first assist of the match. Avery Hobson gets her 8th kill of the match, tying Edita Vaswalchik and Lauren Hovey. 3 Falcons with 8. Out attacking now pretty handily the Cardinals, although their hitting percentage is still far lower, about 45 points lower.
If the Falcons can get that attack percentage up, clean up the service errors a little bit, they're seriously in business here.
Hovey to Andrews. Andrews swings into the block and stays on the side of Ball State. 7-4. Falcons lead here.
That Ball State block has gotten less and less effective as this match has worn on. Still present, but just less effective.
Best 2 blockers for Ball State, Cameron Wise, Gwen Krull, hovering around 60 total blocks on the season. Bowling Green's got 3 players at 60 and 1 at 84. That's Helen Wilford. Gwen Krull can't save the ball on the Ball State side, and another error by the Cardinals results in a Bowling Green point.
Lauren Hovey, just a senior hitter with so much experience and just knows I don't have a lot of space here. The block is on my left side, so I'm just going to tip this fast pace over the net right at the libero and get myself a kill.
Axness sets up Gwen Krull, and Gwen Krull more of a push attack, but pushed it into open space and got a kill for the Cardinals.
That's a nice find by her. Whether it was accidental or on purpose, nice job finding the campfire.
Anders digs it out. Sheetek will set. It's a deep attack from Hovey, who spins it in. 2 touches and a save for the Cardinals. Carson Tyler rolls it in. Hobson keeps it up. Hovey to Axness. A set from Tabling. Carson Tyler with an attack. Hobson keeps it up. Set from Wilford. Hobson goes off the block. And assist for Helen Wilford, a kill for Avery Hobson.
I love seeing middles set the ball. It's so much fun. They never get the opportunity to do it. They never should do it. But it worked out there. Helen Wilford, great job.
Avery Hobson serves. Tabling digs it out. Axness sets up the middle. Cameron Wise fires it through. She's been outstanding in the limited amount of attempts she's got in this match. That's her 5th kill on her 8th swing. A .625 hitting percentage for the MAC leader in hitting percentage, a .367. Vaswalchik rolls it into the Ball State zone. Carson Tyler gets blocked at the net, but it's out of play off of the Bowling Green Falcons.
Well done by Tyler wiping that block. That's a tough challenge there against Wilford and Hovey, but up to the challenge.
Sheetek back to Hovey. Hovey pushes it across. Ball State with the ball back. Carson Tyler without a block. Dug out by Hernandez. Hovey with a full attack. Let the ball fall right in front of her. Don't know whether she thought the ball was going to fall wide. But 3 Falcons just staring at the ball as it found the court.
Need to cut off this serve here.
Sheetek way across to Vaswalchik, who misses the hands and sends it long, and gives Ball State a tie game at 9-all.
You'd like to see Eddie try to roll one over. Her attacks just aren't falling in that corner like they were yesterday.
Hobson to Sheetek. Sheetek keeps it alive. Bowling Green dumps it over. Tabling. Set to the left side. Carson Tyler off of the blockers of Bowling Green and again out of play. Bowling Green's blocked better than Ball State today, but Ball State's had the opportunity to tool more of the blocks, and they've done so very well.
We expect El Piamba to call a timeout here sooner rather than later.
Service ace there for Ball State. Lindsey Green gets credited for it. Avery Hobson will get the reception error, and 11-9. Ball State leads at the first timeout called by Alex Del Piombo. A better start to the third set, one that Bowling Green has to win. They trail 2-0 to the Cardinals. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin Hutchinson, host of The Swoop.
And this is Brooke Blake, executive producer for The Swoop. The Swoop is BG24's sports talk show about all things BGSU athletics.
New episodes come out every Thursday at 6 p.m. at bgfalconmedia.com.
Ben Korak, Andrew Smith, and the Falcon Media Sports Network crew covering the Falcon volleyball team.
Sports a 2-point lead against Bowling Green now as the Falcons jump out to an early lead and surrender some to the Cardinals. Lindsey Green serves to Hobson. Sheetek back sets Hovey. Hovey off the block, spins way out to the long side of the court.
That's exactly what you need, a quick 1-2-3. Hovey always going to be the most reliable hitter on this team on that right side. A strong left-handed swing off the block.
Hernandez serves, tabling to Green. Green to Snook. Snook finds the seam, throws it through, and 12-2 now. Ball State leads with Tiffany Snook, her sixth of the match.
Falcons really seem to be struggling to block out Snook.
Avery Hobson can't handle the serve on the back row again. That was Carson Tyler. And now Anastasia Bozic will come in and check Hobson out. Carson Tyler high in the air, targets Edita Vaswacek. Sheetek back to Hovey, and Hovey will just conservatively dump it over the long end of the net. Van Ort finds the middle of the court. Sydney Hernandez dives, makes a good play on the ball, but can't get it high enough to make it savable. 14-10, Ball State. And this is territory that Ball State was able to hold on to in the first two sets, Andrew.
Yes, it was. Falcons need to cut this off right now.
Sheetek to Hovey. Hovey catches a good amount of the net, gets it through. It's dug out by Ball State. Van Ort misses the hands, and Bowling Green will get credit for the point.
Missed everything there. She just got a little too underneath that. Seemed to jump a little bit late. Sometimes,
go ahead.
Sometimes that's the failures of running a really quick offense, is that you can be late and then miss hit.
Hovey a nice serve, and out of system set, and a kill there from the right side by Snook. Lauren Hovey actually got beat on the defensive end, which is something you can rarely say. 15-11 now. The serve is way long. Ledbetter missed by a good 10 feet. Brings it back within three. Avery Anders in for Edita Vaswacek. Avery Hobson in for Anastasia Bozic to play the front row. Anders will serve. Targets Van Ort to Green, to the middle. Gwen Krull misses hands and is long. Falcons 13, Ball State 15.
Ball State hitters not syncing up with Green as much as they were in the first 2 sets.
Green sets back to Snook. Snook tools off the block, gets a point back for the Cardinals. That's Snook's 7th kill on only her 12th swing. She's been pretty solid, especially in the later parts.
Really been turned into her as their really only right side attack, and she's paying it off for him.
Hovey to Andrews. Andrews hits a hand. Might have hit the line as well, but the hand is the call. Wilford in, Tabak in. Koswachik and Hernandez off. Riley Whitlock in the game. Redshirt freshman for Ball State. Didn't play at all last season. 60 sets played this season. 51 kills and a 180 hitting percentage for the pin hitter for Ball State. Push there by Carson Tyler. Finds the campfire in the center of the Bowling Green court. 17-14 now Ball State leads.
That's when the Falcons really wish they had back.
Tabling serves right side of the court. Avery Anders off the net. Hovey keeps it alive. Overpass. Wilford completes it. What a nice play by Bowling Green to stay with the ball, and Wilford to cap it off.
Wilford just plays that joust better. Great job by her. Been great at those jousts really all season. What she struggles in sometimes in her offensive output, she makes up for defensively on the blocking and also with those jousts.
Ledbetter lets the serve go long, along with Tabling. 3 service errors now for Anna Shitek. 1 ace to go along with it. Gwen Krull to Anders, to Shitek, to Wilford. Wilford's dug out by Tabling on the back row. Now Carson Tyler swing off the block. Anders a very nice hustle play to keep it alive, but it falls in the Bowling Green court anyway. That was a full sell by the sophomore defensive specialist.
It's a great play by her, and the Falcons got to keep that one up.
Anders to Shitek. Shitek bump sets to Hobson. Hobson a big swing. Overpass back to BG. Shitek reverses field to Hovey. Hovey throws it off of Reese Axness and out of play.
Falcon run has to happen soon, very soon, because the Cardinals near 20 points. And as we saw yesterday, once you reach 20, you're bound to win the set.
Axness to Wise. Wise not the best attack, but she gets the ball tied up in the hands of the Bowling Green blockers, Hovey and Wilford. 20-16. Ball State's the first to 20 for the 3rd straight set. A must-win set for Bowling Green. The Cardinals lead 2-0 over the Falcons, looking to keep their undefeated streak alive of 9 games in Mid-American Conference play. Anna Shitek sets to the middle. Wilford is dug out by Ball State. Carson Tyler gets blocked, and it'll get back over the net by Ball State. Not on 4 touches. Hovey goes off the block anyway and gets the point back to the Falcons. 20-17, BG trails by 3. Sydney Hernandez serves left side of the Bowling Green court, targets Carson Tyler. Bit of an overpass, and Kendall Williams, the freshman, is said to reach a little bit too far, but that looked pretty even to me, Andrew.
It did seem even on that one. I feel like there's been worse yesterday and today by both teams, and it's interesting that's the one that gets called. You wonder if the complaining from the Ball State coaching staff and sideline finally got to the referees, and they decided to to call it, crack down on it a little bit, because BG has been a little bit greedy, kind of getting their hands caught in the cookie jar a little bit there.
Unchallengeable as it's a judgment call by Jared Mallett, referee in the stand. A taped serve by Carson Tyler. Perfect dig out from Vaswalczyk. Hovey goes off the block. Snook pushes to the back right corner again. That's the third kill today by Tiffany Snook, trying to find open space. And the sophomore middle blocker has just been so good doing that.
They've been winning everything at the net. That is an egregious footfall by Carson Tyler.
Her feet about a size too big, 22 to 18. Ball State leads by 4. And again, must win third set because Ball State sports 2 sets, 1-0 for the Falcons. Hovey serves Ledbetter. Green across to Van Ort. Dug out by Bowling Green. Hernandez keeps the ball alive, but over and away from the Falcon bench. 23 to 18. Ball State heading toward a 9-0 conference record and 13-8 record overall. Vaswalczyk digs it out. Hovey bump set. Eddy with the swing off the block, over the top, into the student section. Cardinals, who were down to the 250 mark in hitting percentage, have come alive, tied the Falcons in kills, and got up to 323. Almost 100 points higher than the Falcons across the entire match. Anders serves, drops in. Carson Tyler pulls it up. Van Ort gets blocked. Back to Ball State. Carson Tyler back row attack, hits the net. Andrews keeps it up. Andrews from the right side. Can't fall in. Nice play by Lindsey Green to keep it up. Van Ort goes to the backcourt, and Anders is there. Hovey to Hobson. Hobson cross court off of Ledbetter and out of play. 23 to 20. The Falcons within 3.
Can feel how tense it is in this building right now. The nerves have to be high.
Anders to Van Ort. Green back sets. Gwen Kroll puts it off of Hovey and down. And match point for Ball State, leading 2 sets to nothing. 24 to 20. The score in the third set, 25 to 20. The score of the first 2 sets won by the Cardinals. Served over, Hernandez to Hovey. Hovey to Andrews off the block. Carson Tyler to Axness to the middle. Gwen Kroll can't get it to fall in. Andrews to Hobson. Hobson rolls it over and back to Ball State. They can end it here. Van Ort off of nothing and wide. Thought it might have caught the hands of a Falcon there. Miller Phillips is going to use a timeout. 24 to 21, still match point between Bowling Green and Ball State. Lauren Hovey up to 12 kills on the match. Avery Hobson just a minute ago got herself up to double digits to 10. Edita Vaswalczyk has 9 and Jessica Andrews has 7. That right side attack, aside from Hovey, they've just not been able to get Jessica Andrews rolling to the extent that they have in previous matches.
No, they cannot. It's kind of a struggle between her and Hovey simply because, it's been a very long time since Hovey has set. In addition, the Falcons, in order to win this set here and continue this match, the serving is going to have to be excellent to go on this run here and not allow Ball State to get a point back. And Ball State, they look fully in the driver's seat. They have all match long. At this point, they deserve to win this match after how they've played. And they're in the position to do it, just a point away.
Hovey, Anders, Hobson, Wilford, and Andrews on the court for the Falcons. Kendall Williams back to serve. Whitlock, Kroll, and Axness will play the front court for Ball State. Backcourt of Ledbetter, Carson Tyler, and Noelle Van Ort. Match point 24-21. Ball State leads 2-0, and in the third set as well. Ledbetter misreceives. It's going to be an ace for Kendall Williams. BG trails by 2, but has to get 2 in a row.
That is very, very lucky. The match should end right there. That ball was going out. I don't agree with Kendall Williams being back to serve right now. It's a lot of pressure on a freshman that isn't always accurate with her serves.
Ledbetter saves the ball again. Tyler to Whitlock, and Whitlock dunks it over. Hovey bumps at Andrews to Avery Hobson. Hobson's dug out by Ledbetter. Axness to Van Oort. Van Oort's kept up by Kendall Williams on the back row. Hovey back to Hobson. Hobson spins it almost out of play. Axness resets to Van Oort, who can't get it over the net. And Bowling Green takes another point. 24-23. A timeout will be called by Kelly Miller Phillips. Bowling Green needs one more point right here to force extras in the third set, and the best hopes at completing a reverse sweep. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
I'm Brock Horn. I'm a middle linebacker, 6-year senior, and these are my Falcon 4 people I go to after a game. So first, definitely would be my girlfriend, would be the first person I'd text. The second would be my parents, if they weren't at the game, which they probably were. Third would be my group chat with like my buddies from BG that have come and gone, so like Darren Andrews, Brent Spees, James Miller, all guys who played here. And then my fourth would be my group chat with all the boys back home. So go Falcons.
Did you know Falcon Media Sports Network has video highlights of BGSU athletic events? To see all the moments from your favorite BGSU teams and athletes, head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel or view them on bgfalconmedia.com.
Now back to more Falcon volleyball coverage on WBGU 88.1 FM.
24-23. Still match point for Ball State, but Bowling Green's taken a couple of points in a row and need one more right here to keep the match going and force extras here in the third set. Cardinals lead 2-0 here in the Stroh Center, looking to complete a series sweep over the Falcons on the road and advance to 9-0 in conference play. Kendall Williams serves down the line. Ledbetter to Axness to Noelle Van Oort, and the Falcons let it fall through a couple of arms. A sizable run at the end there. All 3 sets, Bowling Green coming back a bit at the end, but falling short in all 3. 25-23, the final of the third set, and a 3-set sweep for the Ball State Cardinals as they advance to 9-0 in conference play, 13-8 overall, and the Falcons fall to 12-9 overall and 6-3 in conference play. We will take a quick step back, bring you post-game interview from assistant coach Chelsea Carter in a few moments. You're listening to Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
On November 1st, 2024, BGSU men's soccer defeated nationally ranked Western Michigan for the first time in a decade. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer was on the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
History has been made here at Cochran Stadium for the first time in 37 regular season matches for the Western Michigan Broncos, and for the first time in a decade, the Bowling Green Falcons take down the Western Michigan Broncos by a final score of 3-0 here at Cochran Stadium. Wow!
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Falcon Media Sports Network produces weekly short-form and long-form social media pieces for in-season sports all year long. Make sure to check out at BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and at BG Falcon Media on Instagram and Facebook to view the content.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For the second straight year, Falcon Media Sports Network is partnering with WBGU PBS to broadcast Falcon men's and women's soccer matches. Tune in to WBGU PBS YouTube's live streams to hear Lucas Kleinmeyer, Henry Costco, and other Falcon Media Sports Network talent on the call.
Falcon Media Sports Network writes and publishes over 1,000 stories per year, including game previews, recaps, sidebars, opinion pieces, feature stories, and more. Head over to bgfalconmedia.com to view all of our content for every sport throughout the year.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
3-set sweep for Ball State. They sweep the series as well, take 2 wins over Bowling Green, advance to 9-0 overall in Mid-American Conference play. Now we are joined by assistant coach of Bowling Green Volleyball, Chelsea Carter. Chelsea, just thoughts from today's game against Ball State.
Overall, I think they outplayed us, and I think we had a slow start to every game, and that kind of let the momentum roll in their direction. And I think comparatively to last night, we were in control a lot of the game yesterday, and I think opposite. I think we gave them a lot of momentum at the beginning of each set, and they were able to build off that throughout the match and, like, being able to game plan a little bit. They would throw in some different routes, and I think they did their job from, like, the passing line and their offense line for sure.
You look at yesterday, which was very strong all around, although didn't result in a win, very tight overall. What were the things that you noticed today that were things that you guys lacked in? And
things that we lacked in today was a little bit more of our offense. I think comparatively, our defense lacked yesterday. They outblocked us by 1. We outblocked them today. They had 6. We had 7. Now, I think there are things that we have to be able to do in that conversion. We would get good block touches. We would get good slowdowns, and then our offense necessarily wasn't clicking all the time. And, I mean, they're a good defensive team. They have a good libero. They have good blockers. I think something that we got to take advantage of is when we do get those slowdowns, how can we take care of that second ball for our attackers to go and put a brain on it? There were times we had errors at crucial times again that we got to learn from. We got to take it and learn from it. But overall, I mean, Ball State's a hell of a team. So,
yeah, you mentioned the errors, 10 service errors today, 16 attack errors, 26 total, and only a 3-set match. Just what did you guys see there and giving opportunities to the Cardinals, who are going to capitalize on with how good of a team they are?
Yes, so we actually, with the errors, in the first set, they were passing about a 1-5, 1-7. And for the people that may not know a good passing, you want to be passing a 3. Anything above a 2 is pretty solid. Anything below a 2 is not so good. So we actually, our game plan was working in the first set. It just took us about 10 points to get going.
Yeah. And then, you look forward to next week, Western Michigan on the road. Just learning points from today's and this week's matches that you're going to take into Western Michigan.
It takes all of us. It takes every single one of us, and it takes every single one of us every day. Our big theme this year is unity, and there's got to be every single person showing up, giving it their all with their energy, with their effort, with their attitude, and the volleyball will be there.
We'll see you next week in Kalamazoo, Coach. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Hi, Ziggy.
We'll get Andrew Smith back on the headset here in the Stroh Center. Final score, Bowling Green 0 and Ball State 3. A 3-set sweep for Ball State today against Bowling Green, and series sweep on the weekend for Ball State, who has really come through as MAC play has started 9-0 through MAC play, with wins against Toledo and Bowling Green, who still sit atop the Mid-American Conference. They also have wins over, or they have one win over Western Michigan. I believe that's the only time they play them this season. So Ball State with wins against the top teams, and then they, kind of like Bowling Green last year, head into the easier part of the schedule where they're going to play some of the bottom and mid-tier teams in the Mid-American Conference. And Andrew, Ball State in a very good position to be able to come away with the regular season MAC championship and also host the MAC tournament next season.
Yeah, they put themselves firmly in the driver's seat. I mean, obviously those matches still need to be played, but you're right, Ben. They're kind of heading into a much easier part of their schedule as Bowling Green continues a very tough stretch in their schedule, taking on Western Michigan and then Toledo again. So, it's a rough spot for the Falcons right now. 2 losses in a row. We haven't been in a place like that for them during the MAC season since last year when they lost 2 in a row in the Stro to Eastern and then Central Michigan. So the Falcons are going to need to bounce back. It's important to keep the vibes high and to move on, to move forward. You're going to have these kind of losses. A little bit injured right now. Amanda Otten's still out. So you have to just move forward, move on to the next match, move on to the next set, move on to the next point, and focus on getting a win back in the column in Kalamazoo.
Bowling Green finished with 42 total kills. Compare that to Ball State's 43 and about 70 points less of hitting percentage as well. They did finish with only 3 more attack errors, but there was a while there where it was quite a large disparity between Bowling Green and Ball State in hitting percentage and attack errors especially. The Falcons did have more assists, but the Ball State had quite an amount of kills that were unassisted, and a lot of those coming from overpasses from Bowling Green. The defense played fine from the Falcons, I think we'd say, Andrew, especially Sydney Hernandez, who had 17 digs, but she had 12 at about halfway through the entire match. And as the match wore on, Ball State just started looking away from her as attacking target, which is probably a wise decision. They were able to force some poor defensive plays by Bowling Green for the entire match. 43 digs for the Falcons to 51 total for Ball State. And overall, a complete switch from yesterday where it felt like Bowling Green was controlling the match, just didn't end up winning. Today, it felt like from the start that Ball State was going to win, and they did so in 3 sets.
Yeah, no, they looked in control the whole way. Their back row really stepped up in a lot of different ways today. They didn't play. They didn't play poorly yesterday by any means, but just not to the level that they were tonight. I mean, Ledbetter and Tabling just played phenomenal. Carson Tyler and Van Ort went into the back row, and they played great. It was just all around their defense. And the blocking was there the whole time. I mean, they didn't have many block kills, I don't think, but the blocking just affected everything. They were getting 1 touches on basically every single thing that Bowling Green tried to get over the net. So it's a great job by the Cardinals. It's a great win for BSU. Great 2 wins in a row. And, yeah, they're going into an easier part of their season. So, in all likelihood, they'll keep the win streak going.
Bowling Green volleyball now is 6-3 in their MAC record, 12-9 overall, and fall to 5-2 at home as they came into this series 5-0 in the Stroh Center this season. They go to Kalamazoo and Western Michigan next week. Andrew Smith will be on the call for both of those matches from Kalamazoo. Looking at the times right now, 6 p.m. on Friday, October 24th, and 4 p.m. on Saturday, October 25th from Reed Fieldhouse in Kalamazoo. Again, like I said, Andrew Smith will be on the call solo in Kalamazoo as he's traveling with the team. I will be in Sault Ste. Marie with Lake Superior State, hockey's first CCHA matches of the 2025-2026 campaign. And right now, if you want to switch over to Falcon Radio, located on bgfalconmedia.com, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com, Nathan Burkett and Aiden Bruick have the call of Bowling Green hockey. They are tied 1-1 with 35 seconds left in the first period. So certainly something that you want to go look into is that Bowling Green hockey game, as this is their last match, their last exhibition game before they start conference play next week against Lake Superior State. Andrew, always a pleasure to broadcast with you, although I wish we would have seen a little bit more wins this weekend. But as Del Piombo always says, you win or you learn, and the Falcons definitely learned this week.
They definitely did. They learned a lot about themselves as a team, learned a lot about their teammates, and learned a lot about these Cardinals. They'll see them again, most likely, in the MAC tournament. I think both these teams will be there, or rather here, back in the Stroh Center, who will be hosting the MAC tournament yet again, 2nd year in a row. Ben, and I will see you again when you're
not on the road.
Taking a break from
both of us on the road
to,
next week.
Yeah,
too.
Both of us on the road. You'll be taking a break from hockey, I know, to do the MAC tournament with me.
Oh, for sure. I would never miss it.
So I'll see you, well, figuratively then.
Yeah.
But literally Probably on Monday.
Yep. Recap of today's match is available on bgfalconmedia.com pretty soon, later on tonight or tomorrow morning. Also, any BGSU sports news and updates from the Falcon Media Sports Network will be available at bgfalconmedia.com, and follow us on BG_FMSN on Twitter, where we post about all of our articles, opinion pieces that we put out for volleyball and other sports, and everything going on in Bowling Green athletics. Also, make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. Panel of Falcon Media Sports Network analysts will talk about everything going on in Bowling Green athletics, and I am very sure that volleyball is going to be a big talking subject this Sunday. So make sure you tune in to the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. Right now, Windsor versus Bowling Green after the first period of play. They are heading into the second after this intermission report, tied 1-1 with Windsor in the Stroh Center Lax exhibition for hockey. That's broadcast on Falcon Radio by Nathan Burkett and Aiden Bruick. Tomorrow, Bowling Green plays Central Michigan. It's family weekend here in the town of Bowling Green, and the Falcons play one of their last hard games of the 2025 season against Central Michigan. That'll be a big one. You can listen to the broadcast on Falcon Radio at 11:45 a.m. with kickoff starting at noon. That broadcasted by the Falcon Media Sports Network. Special thank you to our board operators back in the Cooling Center studio here in Bowling Green. Thank you guys for taking some time out of your Friday night to be able to get us on the air. And thank you to Carl Smith, Lucas Kleinmeyer, and Tyler Kavlitz, the directors of the Falcon Media Sports Network, for allowing Andrew and I and all of the Falcon Media Sports Network to be here in the Stroh Center today. Andrew, we will talk together on a broadcast later on, but anybody that's a Bowling Green volleyball fan will hear you next week. Anybody that's a Bowling Green hockey fan will hear me next weekend as well. We'll say so long tonight from the Stroh Center. Ben Korak and Andrew Smith, and Falcon Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Isaac.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.